Well, our story begins in a civil parish in Little England with a GT car. GT is a classification originated in the late 19th century as an abbreviation of the Italian Gran Turismo. And it means a vehicle that is designed and engineered to be capable of high speed, yet comfortable, long-distance driving. And this is one of those, the BMW 640D Gran Coupe. So, let's start with what other people say. Well, mainly the general consensus is that it's not very fun to drive, not very sporty, and it's not as good as a Porsche 911. And yes, all those things were actually said. And it's comments and reviews and comparisons like that which put people like me off from discovering what a brilliant car this actually is. Well, it costs as much as a Tesla, but it isn't as frugal. But like the Tesla, it's too big, so you can forget using your garage or parking it. This is a document which talks about the average car parking size recommendations in England. It says that the average recommended size is 4,800 millimeters in length. This car is longer than that. Right, to find a parking space where this will fit. Right, I'm not going there. He hasn't cleaned his car for 2 months, so he won't care. Right, now that's too near the trolley, see? Now I can't go in there because then they'll trolley straight into the paint. This one will do. Here we go, yes. Yeah. Well, we already know that though, don't we? We know that it's £63,000. We know that it's impractical, there's not much room in the back, and that it's long. So it's not very good, is it? Yes, it is. Although it's based on the 5 Series and shares its practicality, what it doesn't share is the driving character, because this is better. And you can park it next to a supercar and not feel outdone. Which brings me on to the best bit, the price. I've come to Reading to a brand new multi-million-pound dealership, or rather department store, to find out more about buying one of these. And once I'd finished marvelling at the cutlery and spending some time in the haberdashery, I found that the 6 Series is supported by some occasional colossal discounts from BMW, and that a 4-year-old one can be sourced at 50% less than its new cost. So when you consider what that actually means in terms of value, this car suddenly becomes extremely good fun per pound value. And because this car costs virtually nothing to run, all the money you save on fuel and servicing, you could spend on something else. Like a yacht. In fact, no, wait, this is a yacht. Obviously, as I've said in my other reviews, this comes with a whole host of technological brilliance, including your own little man called John, who's your concierge. It's John on a Monday, I think it's Peter on a Wednesday. You just ring him up and you ask him anything you want. He'll send it straight to your car. You don't have to do anything, it just pops up on the screen. You've got the points of interest, which is a little voice control button on the steering wheel where you just say, I want to go to the movies, where's the nearest cinema, and it will tell you. And the maps are constantly getting cleaner and cleaner and more realistic as time goes on. In fact, this one is even brighter and better resolution than the last car I drove, which was only maybe 2 months ago. What other car can you get that does 155 miles per hour yet gives you more than 40 miles to the gallon? 640 Newton meters of torque, and in layman's terms that means this diesel engine delivers double the power that a 2-litre Mondeo does, and that's good. And so when you think you're getting all that for the fraction of the cost of something that looks as good and performs as well, such as a Panamera or a Bentley even, or maybe a 4-door Aston Martin, those cars are fine if you've got money to lose, but if you haven't.
Add it all up, and the result is an extraordinary success. It is astonishing to look at. It drives unlike any other car in its class. It is sporty, it is fun to drive, and it is frugal. And for those reasons and more, it becomes inequitable to compare it with anything else, because it sits in its own niche, an exclusive one.